All right, we are at 6:30 for Village of Minerva Park's work session as a whole.
Committee as a whole.
Committee as a whole,
Yeah.
and we're actually at 6:35, and today is July 25th, maybe? Yes, July 25th. We are going to start with, I'm gonna start with streets. I don't have a whole lot for that, except yesterday I had a meeting with Mike Flickinger for the kickoff, for the Maplewood project. That one, they are going to do signage beginning around August 5th. We have started putting the information on, it's gonna be in the newsletter, we've started putting it on the website, Facebook pages, all that stuff. The signage should go up right around August 5th. The project should start shortly after that. I do not have a dead set date, whether it's gonna be Friday or Monday or whatever. Mike is taking responsibility to reach out to Columbus Fire and the mailman and a couple of those things. I did ask Officer Corley to maybe start making sure that the schools know that it's gonna be closed. It is gonna be closed at the beginning of the school year, so if school starts August 15th, this project's gonna start somewhere after the 5th. Like I said, signage, detour signs are gonna go up around the 5th. We've reached out to Flock Cameras. Flock Cameras is going to be removing that camera so it does not get damaged during the process. So I've asked them to go ahead and put in a ticket to get that removed. It's actually just going to come back here for 30 days and then we will get it put back up as soon as the project is over. And that was figured into the project as well. So that project is definitely moving forward. We have also reached out to one of the residents, I'm not gonna give the address or anything, but we have reached out to one specific resident that her property is going to be affected. And we have dated the letters, we have both of the letters, we have mailed them, and I also did have our maintenance team go put a letter on her door. And I say her, but I don't know, it could be whoever, their door. I have not heard from them. This project is still going to move forward because we are able to move forward because it affects the stairs. Anyways, this project is moving forward, but I just, as a courtesy, really wanted to let them know that your stairs are going to be affected and, you know, we're going to be doing some modifications to this particular area, and I have yet to hear from that person. The first date that we sent out anything, I believe, was May 21st. So it's been a while since we reached out, so since we are now at the end, we did send out the letter again yesterday. So we are trying to reach out to that resident, so hopefully we will get some response. Just, again, we're just trying to give them a courtesy update just to say, hey, this is going on. So we'll make an announcement again during the meeting that basically states that this road is going to be closed somewhere after August 5th. They are telling us it is going to be closed for, and again, if it goes over, it goes over, but approximately 3 weeks. That it will be closed from the day that they close it, not from August 5th, but the day they start till it ends. One of the reasons is, and again, just letting you guys know, there will be 7 days that nobody's going to be out there working, but that's the curing process. He did advise us that there is an option that we could do that would shorten that 7 days. It's a more expensive option. I did ask, because are we talking $1,000 or are we talking $100,000? But the inconvenience of having it closed and nobody working for 7 days might be worth a little bit of money, but we may not be able to do it anyways, because we only have a certain amount of cushion in that project. So again, is it a very small amount of money or is it tens of thousands? I have no idea, but I at least asked, especially for the people that it will affect. So 7 days that it's curing, so of that 3 weeks, that is one of the weeks. And again, it's just for people to know, because I don't want to be like, the road's been closed for a week and nobody's been out here working. That's why.
So it's gonna look real pretty, but nobody's gonna be able to touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't even breathe on it.
Fair enough.
So that's that. Then today, Mike Flickinger, then he's been here apparently all week. Mike Flickinger then met out at the site of Jordan Road. They have started their go round at the punch list. And they were out there working all day. Do I know exactly what's going on? No. They were out there working all day. They are supposed to be regrading and seeding, and they were working on the church's parking lot where they're paving. I saw them out there doing that. But other than that, I was not at that meeting because I was at a different meeting here. So, but Mike was there. He did meet with them and did walk it and all of that. I do believe, and we did invite one of the this resident had reached out. So Mike let him know that he was going to be in their backyards, and he did notify several people that had asked for, you know, advance notice anytime they're going to be back there. He did do that. But this particular resident wanted to be there, you know, and just kind of see what was going on, and he said that was fine. So I'm imagining that that person was there as well today. So you may even see an update from him on Facebook. I don't know. I'm not gonna say who it is, but so that's what I have. So they were out there working, expecting it to be today and tomorrow that they will be out there. We also, that sewer grate that was hidden by that rock down at the end of Park Lane, we did reach out to that resident. That resident came in and signed the documentation because we actually had the company that's doing our backyards actually did this project for us and came and is moving the rock so they can finish the CCTV down in that area, which was one of the issues that we had because it was buried underneath a rock. So, and we didn't want to destroy the rocks, and we didn't want to have them do it because it could have delayed the project even more. So we did move the rocks. That is being done right now. And like I said, we got a hold of the resident came in, he signed the papers, just kind of like we're not liable if the rocks break type thing. So that is everything I have for streets. Probably not, but good enough for today. Does anybody have any questions, or is there another street project I should be? We did get Mike Flickinger's estimate for Minerva Lake Road, and we are just not even going to talk about that today. I'll let you talk about that.
Because it's higher than we thought it was.
Oh,
gonna
gee,
be.
when he freaking Christmas. Well, he's going to work his magic. Here at 6:45. So, anyways, so yeah, he came in. They worked on some stuff with that, and we'll see where all that ends up here before long. It's again just an estimate. So.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Perfect. Boy, am I glad. It's been one of those weeks, right? Just don't go on TikTok. Don't go anywhere. That's what you get to see all week long.
All right, recreations and parks.
That's you.
Yep, so 3 things.
Okay.
1, family fun night is this weekend.
Okay.
$10 a person, it does include food.
Okay.
I think it's cheaper for kids, but I don't remember what it
I
is.
thought I saw that.
I think under 6 is a less,
Okay.
but it does, there's hot dogs. I think they might be doing corn on the cob
Oh, that is.
in
I
a
think it was.
cooler.
I think it was pop, chips, corn on the cob, hot dog.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It's 5 to 9.
Okay.
The pool will close at 4:30.
Yes.
So that they have some time to set up, so.
And let's.
And we did
can we
send
do an
out a
update?
notification to all the pool members.
Okay, and let's do one more update on Facebook just to say it closes at 4:30 on Saturday. I mean, we can do it tomorrow. Let's just post it tomorrow.
All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, August 3rd, which will be the next Saturday, is our movie night. Doors will open at 8 o'clock. The movie will start once it gets dark enough to do the movie. We are doing Little Mermaid live action. We're gonna have special treats and games and
S'mores?
things like that. Yep, s'mores will be there. That is $5 per person, up to $20 per family.
And we're not gonna have a food truck, correct? We're gonna have the concession stand open.
Correct.
And we are thinking about, and I think this will fly as an end of season since we're at August, we were thinking about doing a sale on some of those hot dogs. Because there's a whole box and 3/4 of another one.
Okay,
Hot dog.
We'll talk about that later.
okay. I just lost what I was gonna
Band?
say. No, it still had to do with the movie. Popcorn, we're gonna have popcorn that night.
Freaking excited about that. Are we getting that from that company?
Yes.
When are we ordering it and what do we need to order? And
Sometime this week, we'll order it.
get us all that. Actually, we want to put an order in on Monday. Can
okay.
you have it by then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Food, games,
We're just rolling today.
popcorn, movie.
Live action.
Yep. I don't remember what it was. There was something else I was gonna say about it.
Price total?
Yep, up to $20 per family. Yeah, I don't know. Concession stand will be open. Oh, we'll have alcohol as well.
Yes.
For sale.
Okay.
MPCA is gonna sell beer, that night as well, so,
Do you know what that is? Is it $5 a?
it was last time,
Okay.
it was $5 a can.
Just so people know.
Yep,
So bring your extra cash.
Yep, and so any funds, any proceeds from that go to MPCA, so.
And they can use their little debit cards or whatever, they have
Uh-huh,
access to all that. Okay.
Yep, they have a square card reader, they'll take it all. Cash, credit card. And then finally, our last second Friday of the month will be August 9th. That is $8 per person to go in. Did you have a question or, okay. The band is Me and Little Brother.
They've not responded to me at all. Can
Okay,
somebody
I'll
reach out
reach
to them
back out.
because I can't get them the contract?
Yeah, I'll reach back out. to
Yes.
them. Me and Little Brother is the name of the group, and there will be alcohol for sale at that one as well. But that is being done by another organization, and that's a fundraiser for them as well. So unfortunately, MPCA can only do so many within a certain period of time, and between Family Fun Night and the movie night, that's all they can get, because it's 2 permits every 30 days.
Yep.
The last one went really well, so the second one was even better than the first one. We had a really good turnout, and sold lots of food and had a really good crowd for it, so. Hopefully that's something we continue next year. I think we've had some positive feedback from it, so.
I can't wait for this one.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I think after the first one, people really didn't know. Second one, more people came. So
Yep.
let's see how it works on the next one.
Yep,
So yes, and we have an alternate. If for some reason this isn't gonna work, we do have a plan.
Okay.
I have a plan, but I'm not gonna tell you what my plan is. I
Perfect.
think Brian knows what my plan is.
I'll reach out. And that's really it, for recreations and parks right now.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Nope. That was a lot.
Okay. I mean, we're coming to the end of the pool season.
Don't say that.
I
It's
know.
the beginning of the
It-
next season.
Sure, it is the beginning of the next season. It's depressing. The summer went too fast.
Yes.
Way
Put it this
too
way,
fast.
when John's texting me every single day, we miss you, like, I can't even get there.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there
Yeah.
once in 3 weeks. That's not me. I don't have time.
Yep. I hear you.
I'm tired of these meetings. No, I'm just joking.
Yep. Okay, that's it.
All right.
We get to,
And then JP, do we have anything for service? No,
we're gonna talk about service every committee as a whole.
I know. You're our favorite program. But we're at 6:45, so we're gonna go ahead and end this here in a couple of seconds. But is there anything anybody wants to talk about in here before we go to the next one? Just so it's not some big huge surprise. The one thing that we have is we're updating the public records policy for the village. Hopefully David is coming because we are trying to waive the readings and pass it as an emergency. Is there a reason that we are doing requests emailed at any time? Is there a reason it needs to be, I really don't know.
I think it has to do with the handbook update. That's kind
Maybe.
of what started this process.
Okay, so I don't have a specific thing like the world's gonna fall apart if we don't get it done tonight. So if David's not here, we can't. So then we would just do it on the very next one. So,
I mean, that would be my question, is why,
I don't know.
why are we doing it as an emergency?
I really, and maybe, is Jesse coming? I can't remember.
He's
I don't
not
think so.
usually at this one.
So I see some of the stuff that's highlighted, like you said, it may have something to do with the handbook. Or there's, yeah, so we can find out exactly why I clarified. Maybe it's because of the flash drive, it says, like, there's notes on here, but I don't know if that's why. So, anyways, I don't have a specific reason as to why we are, I just know it's being asked that we do it, but if we don't have 5, we can't do it anyways. And it is just for updating the public records policy, so it's not anything fundamentally, yeah.
Yeah, if we don't have anybody to tell us about it in intelligent fashion.
Yeah, I'm definitely not intelligent on this one. I am assuming it has something to do with a fee of $3 is charged for the records loaded onto a flash drive, and I'm just wondering if that didn't make it onto the original one, and so we're updating that, and my thought is, I'm assuming we've had people needing it.
Isn't it
It
on our,
hasn't been officially
Okay.
approved, updated, since we were allowed to put records on a CD for people.
Yeah,
so, but,
That's no longer in there.
Is-
Putting them on tape for people is no longer in there, and now it says they can be emailed, which wasn't included on the one that's hanging up there.
which is how we are responding, so it's basically getting us to, so yes, that would be my answer. The way that we're currently doing it is not the way policy is.
I'm pretty sure flash drive though is on our, fee schedule though.
It is.
It is.
So, but we have to say that we're gonna put it on a flash drive?
Which is what this
in
is
the-
doing, yes.
Okay,
I know that the people who were doing the handbook update asked for the legislation that approved public record policy, and the last time it was done, I think, was maybe
Is that the handbook or the auditor?
it was the auditor.
I think it's the auditor. That makes more sense. That is very possible, yes.
And it looks like it went from a resolution from 2008 to a ordinance instead.
In 19, and that was part of some of the other stuff. We had to switch things over to an ordinance instead, which was one you guys passed not too long ago, was going from a resolution too, about the bond. So yes, I would assume if we work our way through this, that does completely and totally make sense, because the way that we are currently doing it, I don't even know if we had emails back in 2008.
No, probably not on the.
From
Yeah.
your BlackBerry.
Yeah, we were BlackBerry in it, yeah, for sure. Okay, so does anybody else have anything that they want to talk about? Yeah, that is the only legislation on there. All right,
Okay. Good.
all right. Next, we will, you guys know that we got a letter from Westerville South High School. The coach will discuss this a tiny bit in the meeting, just so you guys know. It was a $20 card, kids were selling it for $30. We're just gonna, in the meeting, I'm just gonna tell people if they have an issue, they can reach out. That's fine. Yeah. Say that again?
He's coming to the meeting?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know that we're just gonna briefly talk about that for like 2
Sure,
seconds.
yeah.
And then we will, what was the other thing? Okay, so the other thing I was gonna tell you was, what was I just gonna read? So we had a 4-hour plus, I had a 4-hour plus meeting today about the handbook. So we are moving right along with the handbook. That was something that we appropriated last year. I believe it was last year. We started the process this year. Maybe we appropriated it this year, but we are redoing our handbook. Our handbook was this thick and now it's triple that. So that is moving right along. We went page by page, updated it to this century. And now we actually have things in there that just haven't been addressed for safety purposes or anything like that. So that is going to be coming to you guys. I don't know the best way to handle it because we do have the old one, and of course we're going to have the new one. I think I'm just going to forward you guys the old one and the new one. There's not a ton of things that have been changed per se for us. There's a lot of things that have changed because they weren't in there. So there is just sections of things that just needed updated because we didn't have anything in there. Like I said, there's very little that we're changing as far as we're not giving extra days off or anything like that at this point in time. So it's just a lot of policy standpoints updating to, again, like I said, this century. The other thing was, not Mike, what was the other thing? Actually, I'm gonna let Eric talk for a second because Eric has some of the other really good information, but there was something else in those lines that I was gonna tell you. Go ahead.
So, touch base with Casey Davison, Joyce Baker's office earlier in the week to see what had become of our CFP application. If you recall, we applied, I think April, May-ish, it's like, for $1.5 million to apply to our lake project. As we discussed earlier with council, we're trying to piecemeal our money together on a year-by-year basis. This will be for fiscal year 2025. We got some good news. So we made it through the House, even though Ms. Beatty is a Democrat, the Republicans gave us $850,000 of our ask. So, which is very good news, which can go to our lake for 4-bay construction, pathway, and clearance of trees and debris. So, very good news. Still has to technically go through the Senate, but that's kind of what he explained, more rubber stampers at the House. That's these particular things, and so the Senate should just move it along at some point this year. We'll get some more information on how we get our money, but as Jeff and I discussed with you, and as soon as it's moving along in some form, definitely some money can go, significant money to be put with Mike, and he should be engineering an entire master plan for the lakes because we're starting to see some money come in. And then he and I, Mr. Davis and I had some more discussion, and he's going to go back and find, there are many pots of money coming up from what's called the presidential budget, capital budget, or whatever, so we get some money out of that. And there's next year we can reapply for this again under 10 different particular application scenarios, so we can keep asking for money as years go forward and keep trying to get federal money. So if we're successful, we're happy to report that. At least 95% of the way.
It'll pass the Senate.
Right, which is
There's been bipartisan bill, especially in the Senate will do well.
right. So I just want to clarify, it's not done deal yet, but almost.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's still good news, I mean, regardless of something, you know. Best point to this is we are actively, Eric is actively, I know Brady's helped in a lot of these different things, actively trying to get grants and funding and any kind of loans or anything that we can do that may save us money, lower interest, anything like that. But we are actively working in several different directions trying to figure out how to get some of these projects done. Okay, I knew I would come up with it as soon as you started talking. So, Barb has been working on getting, and I should not just say Barb, Barb is the one that made the phone calls. Brian's also been out there quite a bit. We have started getting Joby and who was out there today?
We had the tree guy yesterday, and we had Pennington Tree Service today.
Yes. So we've had 2 sets of people come out and start assessing the trees around the lakes. I've asked them to give me a couple different estimates, meaning separating the North Lake and the South Lake, only for budgeting purposes really. Because if we only have X amount that needs spent before May, we might not have another set of money until June or July. So I've asked them to break it apart a little bit. It was pretty much explained to them that, you know, this is just, we're trying to get the health of the lakes back. You know, we're planning on dredging, we're planning on, you guys kind of know where this went. But, so we talked to them, we told them exactly what we were looking for. They're both gonna come with 2 totally different ideas, I'm sure, because it's not like we're marking several different trees and saying, I want X, Y, and Z taken out at this point. At this point, we are just kind of going through and saying, you know, if it's invasive, if it's in the way, if it's falling in, if it's damaged, those types of things, that's what we're looking to just kind of thin them out. We're not looking to just take down trees because they're too close. So at this point, this may just be a phase 1, and we just take out, if you want to do like the road analysis, you know, you label them from A to E, you know, at this point we might just be taking out the worst of the worst, and then later on we continue to get more aggressive, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people not happy about taking those out. We did put a Facebook post out there. We'll be doing postcards, we'll be doing random things, notifying people that there will be people in their backyards. We will work with Jesse and all of that as well. If we have to get easements, I'm not sure if we do, so I may be stepping out of line. We may already have them, I don't know.
Most of sorry, Mary, so most of the ground, we can produce a map, goes, most people think it's their backyard. We
Right.
have good
Correct.
significant footage into those, what they're supposed to do in their yard.
Right.
Off the shoreline.
And that's what I thought, but at this point, we're just trying to make sure people know, hey, there might be somebody in the backyard, which is why we sent Brian. Most people do recognize him, or, you know, we just didn't want random people in their backyard. So we sent Brian with them, just to kind of, and also just for him to kind of see if there's certain brush areas that we might be able to take care of on a smaller end. But anyways, point being, you guys asked last week if that was something that we could go ahead and get started on, and I just wanted to let you guys know that we get an A+ for the week because we already have had them out. Not only have we done that, but we have gotten them out here.
We have 1 more coming.
And we have 1 more coming.
I am so happy. It took 5 years, but I've got you talking about invasive species.
And I just, because I was talking about it this week, so, I thought I was gonna get an A+ today, so.
Absolutely have an A+ in my book.
All right. So I may get an F by next week, but I'm just telling you. So no, we've really tried to, we know we only have X amount of time to get some of this stuff moving. So we wanted to make sure that we at least got you guys some ideas. So once we get those, same thing, maybe what we could do is give this to Service and just kind of have them review all of the different quotes and everything like that, bring them to you guys in the Service, you know, I think I know it could be streets, I know it could be whatever, but maybe that's something that we can have Service kind of look at as a whole and kind of talk about those in that particular committee. Once we get them, just to try to see what do we want to do, what do we want to move forward on, and just kind of see what they come back with. So if you guys are okay with that. So that is my only other thing that I wanted to make sure we got out today, because like I said, I'm not going to go in great detail on that during the council meeting. I just thought we would kind of give you guys heads up on all that kind of stuff, since it's not done yet. Do you have anything?
No, I just really enjoy the idea that we're crafting a lakes plan that's more comprehensive than just
Right.
fixing the symptom and not the problem.
Right. And FYI, I don't think we are yet. I think we're going to be coming to you guys to get funding to do more
part of that
master plan.
Forebay,
Yes.
part of removing
Oh, yeah.
the trees and like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not, we had talked about, I wasn't even in the thing, but I was just listening to the meeting and I'm like, oh, we're only talking about let's, drain the swamp, quote
Right.
unquote.
What is so happy that we're factoring in invasive removal and native,
Right.
native
Well,
planting and preservation as well. This is gonna be nice.
and like I said, I'm maybe going about this completely wrong and somebody's gonna tell us that we're, but that's why we brought out arborists, that's why we brought out people that could say, but I figure we know that some of these trees are gonna have to come out in
Yes.
order, if you wanna keep all of the leaves and all that kind of stuff.
Probably about all those alders out there.
And I was talking to residents this week about that. I was like, this is gonna be a great opportunity because not only does it improve the health of the lake itself, but it also allows people to actually use more of it. And I
Yeah.
really think that that's, you're improving the quality, but you're also adding value to more than just the residents that exist around the lake.
Correct, yeah.
Because as someone that doesn't live by it, I'm like, I don't wanna pay for this thing I can't really do much with besides pass on a pathway that doesn't
Right.
go around it. I mean,
Right, absolutely.
I don't know.
You went out with them, is there anything that they've said or noted that you wanna tell us?
Both of them so far had noted that every tree that is within a 3-foot drop off,
Should come
that's
out.
almost everything around this perimeter.
It doesn't surprise me, but I want them to come back and say that, so. And again, maybe at that point, you guys are gonna look at it, but, and I'm saying this ignorantly, but, maybe at this point, if that's the case, we take out every other one until we get to phase 2 or
Yeah,
3.
I was gonna say,
So,
that'd be quite a clear out.
And,
yeah.
and did they just do the South Lake or did they do the North
No,
Lake as well?
I asked them to do it in 2 separate estimates in case we could only, if that's in fact the case, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, so
Yeah, just
I can only
$1,000.
assume. Yeah, so if you take an average price of $3,000 per tree, and they may be more than that if they fall into the lake or, because we've had that issue before.
It's nice to get a competitive bid because you're removing the amount of work you give them should
Right.
give you a significant discount.
Correct, 'cause
per
it-
tree basis,
right.
Which is important, and since we're talking pathway, and this is part of the need to probably mark out and engineer it, there'll be more trees that need to be taken out. They should all be scheduled and bid on at once to get your best possible
Right.
price.
And again, they were not told to do anything other than get us everything that we need right now, only separate A and B. So whatever they come back with, that's pretty much what we told them. Now, we told them that it might have to be in different, again, if we don't have the funds to do it and we have to separate it, that would be the only
Yeah.
way. But if we signed the contract and said, come here and do it and then come back 6 months later and do the other, maybe, who knows? But we've asked for it, you guys asked for it, we'll see where we end up with that. And then we'll go from there, but super excited. I don't know if I had anything else. That was the first meeting, it's my second meeting. Oh, well, I'll just remind you guys, just because I like to hear myself talk apparently. September 10th is our First Responders Night. First Responders Night is going to be from 5 p.m. to 7-ish? No? What is it?
37.
Thank goodness. 5, because I was starting, because you'll hear why here in a minute. 5:30 to 7:30. It's going to be at the middle school. We have several food trucks lined up. We have had a couple donations from a couple vendors. I'm not going to name names at this point, but we've had a couple people donate money towards it. That's going to help pay for giveaways. That's going to help pay for feeding the officers, and not just the officers, but the first responders and some of the volunteers that are going to be here. We kind of came up with a creative way. Actually, Westerville did it, so we're going to try to copy what they did because it was actually a really good idea. And I'll go over that later. But the point being, I need volunteers. So the reason we need as many volunteers as we can, this is a very short time frame. Obviously, we can't set up until the last bus leaves. Last year, we were still trying to set up an hour into the event. I shouldn't say that, but we were still trying to get copies and trying to do little things here and there. So it takes a village to put this thing together, but we only have 2 hours to do it. Is that accurate? 2:55?
Middle school gets out a little earlier than the elementary school.
Yeah, but I don't think we can do anything because of the Hawthorne being, they're still gonna have all their buses and everything. So I don't know what we'll be able to put up before that, but either way, we can't start setting up until probably close to 3 o'clock. And so we have 2.5 hours. We have a huge maze for the kids to run through. That's being delivered here. We have tents that are going to need to be set up, multiple tents that are going to need to be set up, the food tent that's going to need to be set up. directing the food trucks where to go. We do plan on having a map planned out. As of right now, we have invited everything from, we're trying to get a helicopter to land. I don't know if any of these are gonna happen, but we're trying to get a helicopter to land, and we have some good promising things on that. We are trying to get some horses from some of the departments. We are trying to, of course, Kimber will be there, we'll probably have Rico there, but there's also maybe a therapy dog gonna be there. We've reached out to Worthington, we reached out to Westerville, we've reached out to Blendon, Clinton, Mifflin, Madison, Sheriff's Office, you name it, we've reached out to, and quite a few have already responded that they will be there. So this should be an even larger event than it was last time, and like I said, we've already gotten a maze that the kids can go through because it's a little safer than a bouncy house, we're hoping. Anything else about that you can think of? But I need some volunteers. So, not to put you guys all on the spot, in the middle of a live stream, no, I'm kidding. Anybody that can be there, and even if you can only come an hour before, there's gonna be plenty to do.
Dave, you say this was again?
It is gonna be Tuesday, September 10th. So we have plenty of time. We are gonna have another internal meeting, the first week of August. Also, if anybody has any thoughts to, anybody know anybody that works at places that could potentially donate to, some of the things that we're looking for are, I'm gonna reach out to Donato's, I'm gonna reach out to Jet's Pizza, I'm gonna reach out to, Jersey Mike's, Chick-fil-A, and Cane's are the ones that I'm gonna reach out to from get-go. The dessert places I think that we're gonna try to reach out to is like Cheryl's Cookies and nothing but cakes.
Oh, nothing but cakes?
Yes, yeah. So if anybody knows anybody that works at any of those places to start with, or something that I'm not thinking of, again, we are gonna try to do, so this is what I was saying with Westerville, we're gonna try to put together a tent that is for the first responders to go in, get food, get snacks. Again, we have money for this, so I'm not looking for necessarily free, but I don't wanna pay $15 for a pizza. So if we can get a cut of, at Donato's or Jet's Pizza or something, and a lot of those places do that for villages and things along those lines. So if anybody knows anybody, you don't have to tell me now, that we could reach out to that could potentially get us some sort of discount deal, they wanna donate, that's even better. But it would be for, again, quite a few first responders and volunteers and things like that. So, because it looks like this event is gonna be much bigger than it even was last year. And it was awesome last year. I have no idea.
I volunteer for Not the Bounce House.
Oh, I know, Grace already said she was out. She is not doing the bounce house again. That was miserable. Yes, you got volunteered into it last time. Oh, it was awful.
Oh, I know, you guys
It's
love,
awful.
hey, can you watch us for a couple minutes?
And then we all disappeared.
2 hours
Like-
later.
Oh, it was bad. It was, yeah, it was bad. So we do believe that the maze is gonna be much better, and like I said, I'm expecting this thing to be pretty big. I've seen some pictures of it, and it's gonna be awesome. And then, if anybody has any ideas of maybe, we had even thought about maybe going and getting like the cornhole and or some of the toys at the play, or at the park, at the pool, that we can bring down there while families are eating, if kids wanna kind of play with some of those toys or, whatever. So, but if anybody has any thoughts, ideas, we're all ears, we're all open, so. And even just a coloring station, or we're gonna have a face painter, 2 face painters, because 1 is not enough.
Face paint lines are always long.
Yes, they are,
Yeah.
so now we're gonna have 2. So again, if anybody just has any thoughts that they've been to something recently that they thought was just absolutely incredible, then let us know, and 10 minds are better than 4. I don't know how many there are, but I just made that up. You guys know that. All right.
And I'm just thinking, I don't want to be a part of the planning process for that in no way, shape, or
We have actually been planning it since last year, is probably a fair statement. Barb has been setting up food trucks for months. Again, we've been reaching out to other agencies, we've been reaching out to a lot of those things. Now we're finally getting to the point that we have a lot of it already planned out. And again,
Yeah.
we've done it year after year, so it's
I
just.
wish we had some t-shirts, is what I was gonna say. Like some River Park volunteer t-shirts, like if there was like a, and I that's why I rarely wanna mention something if I don't want to take part in the solution. So I hesitate very.
But if
Well-
volunteering, you want a t-shirt.
Yeah,
But I
I do
also-
know a shirt person, so.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there,
But I think that that's,
because
you
that's
know-
kind of pride, like something you could wear, you know, hey, volunteer, you get a free shirt for 10, 12 bucks.
well, that's like the jackets when we did those, but I think that we
You
should,
think free shirt for 10, 12 bucks?
Yeah, you can get those. If you have like stocks of them, I
No,
mean.
we'd pay 10 or 12
Yeah,
dollars
yeah.
to
Yeah,
give
for
them a
them,
free
it's-
shirt.
But you know, it's also something they show pride in the village and they wear their shirt, you know, doing stuff, or if they have
but it would be
a
nice.
late
if-
cleanup day
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know. It's just kind of people like merch.
Yeah. Maybe we can have Barb look into some options as far as like just some either t-shirts and or polo shirts and or, and I'm not trying to spend village money whatsoever, but it's kind of like the, when you go to an event, when you guys go to some of your trainings or when you guys do that kind of stuff, it would be kind of nice if you had something that just had the little logo or something like that on it. It doesn't just have to be that, but I know I now have one that I can wear to, I have a meeting in Westerville on next Friday. So it's nice to be able to wear something like that when you go in there to, if you're not completely dressing up, but you can identify yourself that way, I guess. So, but yeah, that's something that we can
Just a
look
branding
into.
opportunity.
Yeah, we have ones that we got for the maintenance team, so maybe this is something we can get for some volunteers and we'll look at some ideas, and bring them to you guys.
Could we get them retroactively? I volunteered last year to get dunked for a couple hours.
Hey, I have that too.
I cut the crap out of my foot doing that, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, I hit one of the edges on my first trip down.
We have an insurance policy, but you're omitted from that now.
What?
We have an
Statute of
insurance
limitations, I'm sure,
Yeah.
you know.
Right?
It's 2 years in Ohio, so you're fine. You can still sue.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think-
All right, does anybody have anything else? I think that was really, I think that was most everything I have. I have a note on here, but I can't read it, so we're good.
Good.
I'm good.
Move to adjourn?
Seconded?
Okay.